we will cover the topic, as I told you earlier, it is business service. Business risk, right? This is the last topic. Okay. So basically in this we will cover about risk, what is actually risk and how does it affect the business. So yes, starting, what is the meaning of business risk? Okay. How you can define business risk, because earlier we have studied that risk is an important element of any business and this risk is present at every level. Okay, you cannot completely eliminate it, you only can minimize it, but you cannot completely eliminate it. Okay, so now in this we will study how you can define risk. What is the definition of risk? So as you can see on your screen, the definition is, it refers to the probability of losses or inadequate profits due to uncertainties or unexpected event. So basically we can understand that risk is what? Risk is something which, risk is actually unexpected event or unexpected situation which ultimately leads to loss. It leads to loss. Okay? Either you can call it as loss or you can also call it as inadequate profit. Okay? It is also inadequate profit. Okay? So it's very simple. You can define risk like it is an unexpected event which actually increases the probability of losses or inadequate profit. Okay? Okay. Now let's discuss the nature or the characteristics of business risk. Okay, what is the nature or characteristics of business risk? So as you can see, number one, it arises due to uncertainty. Yes, as we have discussed in the definition only, like risk is something which is not certain. When you are not certain, when you are not confident about the situation, that actually arise the risk. When I'm not sure about something, I'm having a confusion in my mind, I'm not having solution for that, so that particular situation will automatically arise or automatically create a situation of uncertainty. Okay, so that is actually your risk. Risk is uncertainty. Next one, it is essential part of every business. Yes, the statement is also right, like risk is an important factor or element which is present in every business. Okay. Third point, degree of risk depends upon the nature and size of a business. Yes, the degree or the level of risk actually depends upon the nature. Nature means what kind of business you are doing. You are in manufacturing business or you are in selling business. Manufacturing business or distribution business. Okay? So it depends on this level also, and moreover it depends on the size of a business. Size means you are at company level, you are at partnership level, or you are at sole proprietorship level. So level of these company actually depends upon the size of a business. If the size of the business is large, obviously the risk factor will be large. If the size of a business is small, obviously you will face small kind of risk. Okay. Next one is, fourth point is, profit is the reward for bearing the risk. Yes, this statement is also correct because ultimately the person or the businessman is bearing the risk. So why he is actually bearing the risk? So that the award for bearing his risk is actually profit, so that he can earn maximum profit. Right? So basically it is a kind of reward for a businessman for bearing the risk. Right? Okay, I hope so these points are clear. Okay, let's move on with the next topic, that is causes of business risk. Causes means what are the reasons of this risk. Okay, if we are studying about the risk, obviously these risks arises due to any causes, due to any reasons. So here we will discuss about the reason. What are the reasons? So the first reason is like your natural causes. Natural causes means some risk arises because of your natural calamities, okay, which is actually provided by the environment itself, in which you don't have any kind of control. When it affects, it definitely affects your business. Okay, as you can see the picture over here. Okay, this is a kind of, or this is example of your natural risk. Okay, Next one is human risk. Human risk or human cause means those risks or those reasons which are actually generated by the humans itself, that will provide, or that is the example of your human risk. Like for example, like changing behavior of an individual. Like if someone is very loyal and very honest, now what happens automatically? Sometimes his behavior changes. Being honesty, now he becomes dishonest. Obviously, due to this, obviously the businessman will bear loss. So this is an example of your human cause. Moving towards the third one, that is economic cause. Economic cause basically means the reasons which affect, or which is, I mean, economic means related to your market condition. Okay, related to your market condition. Like suppose the demand of the customer changes, the preference of the customer changes, the government policies changes. So all these things have an influence on your business also. So these affect the economic condition. So due to this, it can be categorized in your economic cause. And the last one is your physical cause. Physical cause means it is related with your resources, the available resources. Like I'm talking about the machinery, I'm talking about the technology. Okay, like suppose during production only the machine breakdowns. Okay, the technology is not supporting. So obviously these are those risks which ultimately also hampers the working of the business, and yes, it causes your physical cause. Okay, so these were the causes. What are the causes? These are the causes like natural cause, human cause, economic cause, and physical cause. Okay, so with this, now let's move on to the next session, and that is your questions. So yes, let's discuss some of the questions. Like the first question is, you have to define the business risk. Yes, very simple. Business risk is a situation which arises due to uncertainty. Okay, it arises due to uncertainty, and this uncertainty leads to loss. Leads to loss or probability of inadequate profit. Okay. Okay, what are the causes of risk? Just now we have studied. What are the causes? So basically 4 causes are there, like natural cause. Second one is economic cause. Third one is your human cause. And the last one is your physical cause. Physical cause means including your machinery and all technology, right? Physical cause. Okay. Give any 2 features of risk. Yes, you have to mention any 2 features of risk. The first feature is like risk is present everywhere. Okay, risk is the important element. Okay, important element. And next one, risk depends upon the size and nature of business. Okay, so these are the 2 features of your risk. Fine. So these were the related questions and the answers we have discussed. Okay, class. So with this, it is the end of your chapter number 1. Means in this chapter, in this video, your first chapter is completed, and in this first chapter we have completed, there are 4 parts. Part 1 is for the introduction of the business, right? Part 2, it is for your objectives of business, objectives and different kinds of activities, economic activities, right? Part 3rd was based on your industry and commerce, and this part 4 is the last video consisting of business risks. Okay, so these were the different parts, 4 parts of this chapter. So thank you, class, for watching this video and listening to me very patiently. Thank you, class.